Hi YouTube, so today I want to cover how to install a rear view camera in a car and how to do it neatly. So I have already made a start on it, and really all you need is 10 meters of servo wire at least, like your Futaba and JR stuff. If you're an RC, you'll know well about that. This is 22 gauge I think, and I've got 10 meters of it. So we'll have the black one, which is ground, and the red one, which is supplying 5 volts to this Mobius camera, and the white one will just be for video. I think I might put a screen in, but I'm not sure, but it's just good to have the option. The camera will work on motion detection mode, and it will record about, I'll set it to maybe 15 frames per second at the lowest quality, so I get plenty of recording time. Even at the lowest quality setting at 15 frames per second, it's still very, very good. So you need a plastic tool to help tuck the cable in. This is a tire lever, but you can use anything else as long as it's sort of thin and a little sharp, so you can easily tuck it in. Now, in this case, I've just run it round the back of the windscreen, but that's not always possible. On this car it is, and really all you're doing is just tucking it in. Now I've got to this stage here. I'm tucking it in behind this plastic panel, around where the roof carpet is, and really it's a case of just very carefully tucking it in and using the tire lever to push the cable in, and it's really that simple. Like if you have a rubber seal like this, it's kind of rubber and plastic, you could just very carefully lift it up and you could push the cable underneath. And we're going to route it all the way down and along the side there to the 12 volt power. But you will need a 5 volt converter, and I'll show you later on how to install one of those. Right, so we're just coming down this panel here, and really, I know you can't see it yet, but I'm almost there. You just carefully tuck it in, and a good practice is to just try and keep the black one facing outside, so if maybe the cable does come loose you can't really see it that much. So all I'm doing is just using the tire lever to kind of tuck it in. It's simple and you'll probably get your own technique, but this is what works for me. And it just tucks in nicely behind the rubber and you wouldn't know it's there. It can be a bit tricky at times, sometimes it seems to be tighter in certain areas, but just keep at it. There you go, you wouldn't even know it was there. Well, after much messing around at this bit here, the cable was very, very close to the seat rail and it was very awkward to get it in, but I persevered. I just had to like put a thin object just underneath the rail where I could, and then just tuck it in while lifting up the panel at the same time. It's quite difficult. So in this particular car, the 12 volt outlet, there is one here. There's one here that just under the air vents, and there's another one in here. I'm not exactly sure which one I'm wanting to use yet. I suppose this one might be better because I'd like to have a battery which will power the camera when the car is off, so it'll be recording when motion is detected at all times. And I suppose a little 12 volt, 12 amp hour battery would maybe sit in there nicely. It'd be covered up with a seat rest partly, so you can't really see it. But I'll work out something. I don't know whether I'm going to have a screen yet. I'm still deciding on whether to do that or not. There's one other thing I wanted to mention while I remember, and that was how I actually connected this cable up. All I got was one of those servo cable extensions that have a socket and the plug on one end, and I cut it in half and I just soldered the corresponding colours and heat shrinked it. But more importantly here, for each colour of wire, all you need to do is just put them into just one connector. So you just need to use a sharp tool to lift up the little plastic tab and then just remove the wire and then just push it in. So this was the video one, so I just removed the video connection and just put it in, so it's just one connection and then you just plug it in. That's all the tucking done. That took over 2 hours anyway, but it's now all goes through into the glove box like that, and I just very carefully tucked it in right the way along and up in there. You can hardly see it, and it comes out there. So a reasonably good job made of that. Another word of advice is to leave yourself enough slack on the boot, because you don't want to install it when the boot is closed, because then you go to open the boot and then it's all ruined. So I just made sure to leave enough slack there and just get it so it'll fold down nicely when the boot shuts, and there you go. So now all that needs to be done is, now that I've decided to use the glove box to keep all the electronics and everything hidden, I need to get a voltage converter which will take the 12 volts down to 5 for the camera, and I might put the screen on. And I've ordered from China a voltage converter which uses constant current to charge a battery, so I'll maybe put a little lead acid battery in there. And the reason I'm using lead acid is because lithium is not as safe as lead acid. It's quite hard to get a lead acid to go on fire, so the lead acid will go in there and then everything will be fused. So I've had another good idea. Rather than having another screen and probably more unsightly wires, I've decided that I could stick a screen under the glove box like that. So if I need to use the rear view camera, if I'm having trouble reversing, I could just open it up and it just pops up like that, and that should be a good option. It's a lot better than like maybe sticking the screen under there or on there and it being out all the time, and it just is a cheap little screen and it looks kind of out of place in this car. So yeah, that's a better option, I think. Right then, so that's everything all wired up. So what will happen is 12 volt goes in here, and I've wired it up so it connects to this voltage converter which takes it down to about 5 volts. I'll probably put it up to 6 volts due to the voltage drop along the long cable going to the back, just to make sure the camera gets enough power. And the reason it's got 2 connectors is because this one here is for the rear view camera, but my front view one has the different type of connector on it, so I've made up a connection for that as well. I won't need a screen for the front camera, obviously. That will just need power. I'll be using this exact same Mobius camera, so I'll get it powered up and give it a test. Well, here we are ready to test it, so let's plug it in. Alright, see if anything comes up. Yep, there we go. Now all we need to do is just rotate it. There we go, that seems right now. So that's all working, so that all that can just get tucked away neatly, and that's pretty much how you do a rear view camera.